So DJI's Robomaster S1. My views coming up. Welcome back to Drone Logic, all you drone maniacs out there. Now, we know that DJI announced that June 11th event, as they always do in true DJI fashion. And of course, we know that that was their release and unveiling of the Robomaster S1 kit project. And well, Robomaster basically is based off of a competition that DJI hosts in China. And if you are familiar with it, it's pretty much Robot Wars. If you're familiar with Robot Wars, basically that's what it was, just Robot Wars without lethal weapons. And this thing basically seems to me DJI's attempt to try to push this whole Robomaster thing to the world, go global with it. And I completely agree with this thing. From someone who's coming from an engineering mindset, I completely agree with them putting this out there. Now, it's not a drone, it's not a handheld gimbal, it's a rover. It's a rover, and it basically, if you think that you're going to take this thing and hit the ground running, guess again, it's a kit that you have to assemble. And from all the reports that I've seen, the average person, it will take like 3 to 4 hours to put together. And you also you get the code for this thing and learn the operating system. And DJI basically is advertising this as a educational tool, and it really seemed to me they want to bring out the engineering people. And I, again, as a person with an engineering mind, I like that point of view. Now, of course, it's Robot Wars, so there have to be weapons involved, and you really get two weapons in the kit. You get that infrared gun, which you get to launch attacks against other rovers, and you also have the aerosol gun that launches the aerosol BBs. So those little BBs that you have to soak in water for, I believe, like 4 to 5 hours before you can use them. And it also comes with these sensors to be able to detect the attacks. It has infrared sensors to be able to detect infrared launches and attacks from other rovers, as well as pressure sensors to detect aerosol attacks and also detect collision with other rovers as well. And the gun itself is going to be housed on a 2-axis gimbal, and a pretty decent responsive 2-axis gimbal for what I can see. And of course, since it's a rover and it's driving around, you don't necessarily need 3-axis, the twisting, because the rover won't be doing that. So it has that 2-axis gimbal, and it also comes with brushless motor, 4 brushless motors to drive the unit. And from what I'm hearing, they're very beefy, and that thing can really maneuver. I mean, this thing can just maneuver all over the place with those mechanical wheels. So it needs the power, and it's getting that in spades with those brushless motors. It also has the LED indicators to basically show track damage, or show attack weapons and health, virtual health. And of course, we know with DJI, we're not gonna get no crap. You may pay a premium price for DJI products, but it won't be any crap. They have a track record of giving us great equipment, great products out there. Now, when I saw the unveiling of this thing, the first thing I thought of was that Lego Mind Spring. And this was a product that Lego released in the early 2000s, and it was pretty much them taking the Lego Technic parts. These were the more advanced building parts, and combining them with motors and kits where you have to assemble much the same. And of course, you were also able to program for it. I believe it was the same language, that Scratch language. I've never heard of that, but I believe it was the same thing. That's why I thought of that the Mind Spring when I first saw this. And I always wanted to get involved in that. Again, I'm a person with an engineering mindset. So when I first saw that, I thought it was very interesting. And unfortunately, I don't think that Mindspring really took off. And I think the problem that Lego ran into is because Lego is really a toy company and is advertised to children as a toy. And the people who really truly that product should have been aimed to, I don't think it was, and that's why it wasn't as successful. Now they've since dumbed it down some, actually dumbed it down quite a bit, and they called it Mindstorm. Now DJI, I don't think DJI is going to have a problem with this because DJI is not a toy company. You know, it's not a toy company. Sure, there are toy drones out there, toy grade drones, but DJI has never put out a toy drone. You know, they've basically put out professional level equipment, and the closest thing to a toy that they put out is a Tello, but then they don't produce it. The third party company designed and produce a Tello. Beyond that, the closest thing that you would get from them would be the Spark, and the Spark in itself is still it's not a toy. It's still quality equipment. You know, so there's nothing toy by DJI. So I don't think that they're going to have a problem with this, and I really hope that the product really takes off because I'm interested in seeing where this thing go. Now, what I like about this product, I'm gonna go into my likes and dislikes now. The first thing I really love about this thing is that you actually get to assemble it. You know, as I've said before, and I've said it, you know, from a person with an engineering mindset, I really love that because as when I was a kid, younger, I used to love playing with Legos and building blocks, and I used to like putting together those scale models, cars, and planes and whatnot. And one of my very first attempts was one of those, you know, those Robotech, Veritech, those Valkyrie fighters, and it didn't go very well. But as they say, getting there is half the fun. So the fact that you get to assemble this thing, to me, is music to my ears, candy to my eye, because I love assembling and building things. And if you have to build this thing and assemble it and learn how it works, if something goes wrong, then you'll probably be able to fix it, unlike other DJI products out there. And the second thing I really love about this thing is, again, playing upon the same engineering thing, is you get the code for it. And of course, I'm pretty sure that they will have base level code for to get the thing up and running. But you get to learn how to code for the language, and basically create your own personalized code for your rover. And I really love that engineering aspects of it. You know, as an engineering and educational tool, I really love that. Now the third thing that I like about this is that DJI said there's more to come, because the S1 is pretty much a base kit, so they've already alluded to there will be more. You know, since this is the S1, we can have an S2, S3, you know, and so on and so forth. We can have more expensive kits, we can have cheaper kits. Well, and in knowing DJI, there will probably be more likely to be expensive kits, and I don't see how they can get any cheaper than the base kit of the S1. But we can see more weapons, more hardware to come, more sensors. You know, we can see virtual things come, like virtual armor that protects your drone, makes it harder to kill. I mean, your rover, that is, makes it harder to kill, but of course slow down the speed and whatnot. And we can also see something like in the future, a 4K camera. Now, obviously, you can't really do the same thing with a rover that you can do with a drone. So a 4K camera, in some respects, you can say doesn't make any sense. But then again, it's possibility you can get some good shots, some shots or some video with a rover that you just simply can't do with a drone, where you really don't want to bring a drone in. So it'd be interesting to see what they have in store, and I would love to see where this thing is a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now. You know, possibly 3 years from now, they can have so many advancements and components and add-ons that a person can literally personalize their own drone for themselves. But I would, you know, again, I just can't wait to see where this thing goes. Now, the last thing I'm going to bring up about what I like about this whole project is that you get gyro aiming, right? And I personally love that because I prefer gyro aiming over. I'll take that over dual analogs, anything. And I saw the video of it, and I mean, this thing is amazing how responsive this thing was. I mean, just absolutely no lag. I'm like, wow, that's absolutely amazing that they were able to get that in this rover. I'm like, wow. So as for someone who likes gyro aiming, I'm glad we have that option. Now I'm gonna get to the dislikes, and the first thing that I don't like about this, and I won't say it's a bad or a dislike, it's more of a concern. And my biggest concern with this is that unlike a drone, you know, it's not a standalone product. You know, if you buy a drone, you buy it to get up in the air, get you some great quality aerial photos, aerial videos. But a drone wasn't meant to interact with any other products. It wasn't meant to interact with any other drone. You know, it's a standalone product. Well, this Robomaster thing is completely designed to be part of a community. And unless you are part of a community, you're not going to get the full use of it. Sure, they give you those little cars, the numbered cars where you can drive around and, you know, track and shoot the cars. Something like that augmented reality that Nintendo had with the 3DS. It was fun at first, but I mean, you need the games. So this thing is really designed to be part of a community. Without such, you really can't get the full uses out of it. Now, I don't anticipating that being a huge problem because I think there's going to be some reasonably successful. And if this thing is half as successful as the Mavic line, well, we won't have that issue at all because we know we'll have, you know, they will have communities popping up all over the place. You know, we had the Phantom website, Phantom Pilot website. We had the Mavic Pilot website. If this thing is reasonably successful, we will see the Robomaster website pop up all over the place, and we will have these communities because I think you really need that to get the full uses out of this thing. You really need that. Now, the second thing that I don't like about this thing is if in order for you to jump in, you're going to have to pay that DJI tax. You know, the entry price for this thing is $500, and that's no small chunk of change for most people, right? And then to make matters worse, they're going to introduce the little phone tablet holder, and I think that if you really want to compete in a high level competitive scene, I think that pad holder is a must because I just don't see you being able to really be competitive just holding the phone or pad in your hand. And even though it has those the two thumbsticks, and even if you use gyro aiming, I just think that is a must if you plan on competing competitively, and that's an add-on cost. Now they're going to add it, package it in, I believe, with another battery. And by the way, reportedly you're supposed to get about 35 minutes of usage with the batteries, but they're going to add, I believe another battery, maybe a battery or two, and other components and packaged together in a kit. And I'm guessing a drive more kit or a battery more kit, but that's just another cost that you have to worry about on top of the $500 asking price, entry price that for this thing. So beyond that, I just don't see any other negatives. Now I can see on the upside for this because I really love where DJI is going with this, and of course I want to see all the reviews, right? Because I want to see the 1 month review, the 2 month, the year review, because everything we've seen has been positive, but it's all about the newness. I want to see the reviews when the newness is wear it off. And of course, you know, Rick at Drone Valley, he has one. He filmed the unboxing. He also filmed him and his son putting it together on Father's Day. And I really can't wait to see, you know, what he has to say about this, what Rick has to say, because I really value his opinion. So I want to see him get out there, drive it around, perhaps compete with other people, and give his view, his breakdown of it. Beyond that, only time can tell. Now, like I say, I really love this thing, where it's going, And it seems to me that DJI is doing pretty much the same thing they did with the drones. You know, they put professional level quality drones in the hand of consumers, and we call that prosumer. So basically, just like they gave us prosumer drones, they're giving us prosumer level robot wars, and I really like that. And only time will tell where this thing goes. Now, as soon as I'm able to, I will get my hands on one of these things for sure, because I would love to get this thing and put it together and give my own reviews on it. But until then, we just have to see where it goes. I hope that this thing is successful, because to me this is Mind Spring reboot, and you know, those people who didn't get involved, it's just second chance. But basically, this is my drone logic for the day, and I just hope this thing really takes off, like I said. But y'all, as always, until next time.